Here are our vocabulary words for chapter 23 in Alpha to Omega. Our one verb for this chapter is a big one, harao, an alpha contract. You could see on the bottom there the imperfect of it, heoron. So the augment not only goes on the front with a rough breathing mark, but then also the omicron lengthens to an omega there. So heoron. And then it's just on as the ending because of the alpha and the omicron contracting there. So anyway, first principal part, harao, opsami, so now smooth breathing mark, idan, back to the rough breathing mark, heoraka or heoraka. So those are two options there in our perfect. Heoramai or omai. And that's there our fifth principal part, so our perfect middle passive endings. You can see another unusual form there in the aorist, idan, how the imperative can turn into ida. Now, even though this is unusual, it is very common, this word. It means to see, behold, look at. In the passive, it means to be seen or appear. And there's a longer notation section in your book about how these three stems all came from the same word just because of that digamma that I had talked about once, how that had disappeared. I think probably you're just best in learning the principal parts. Harao, opsami there in the deponent, idan, heoraka, heoramai, and omai. Got a noun here, etos u ta. It means year. Now looking at the principal part, we can tell what our stem is and also what our declension it is. So we see the us ending and we know it must be third declension. And we see, again, that contract taking place there, so we know it's a sigma stem, right? So etos is just going to be declined, just like our tychus wall paradigm that we had learned in our third declension sigma stems. Etos us ta. Amera, as, he. That means day. It's just a simple first declension. They're alpha in the ending, long alpha, because of the epsilon iota rho rule. Amera as he. Nix nictus he. There you can see we're in our third declension. Third declension here, this means night. And in the third declension, when we find our stem by dropping the us, so nict, add the sigma as is usual to form the nominative singular. That's where the c comes in, nix. So nix nictus he, meaning night. Chronos, u ha. Now in second declension, we can see that from the u ending. That means time. This is what we spent time on, our relative pronouns, hus, he, ha, who, which, or that. Also spent time on pas, pas upon. Notice the circumflexes always occurring there. And then the different formations of that we'd seen in our paradigm earlier in the chapter. That means all, every, whole, or entire. Tameron, that means today, and it's always adverbial, right? You don't decline it or anything like that. Here we have a preposition, amphe, and then the elision that takes place. The root meaning of amphe is on both sides of, and thinking ambidextrous, right? Ambidextrous, how they're used both hands. So amphi has that root meaning of on both sides of. Now, what does that mean in these different cases? In the genitive, it means about, concerning, on both sides of a subject is kind of how I like to think about it, so concerning it, and then accusative around on both sides of their place to which. Amphi. Ana means up along, by, usually with the accusative, although it is a lot of times a prefix on verbs. And ana really is the contrast to kata. Kata being down from, ana is going up. And so that's what we mean there. There are some times, and you can see this in your book as well in the notes, that even though they really are opposite meanings, ana and kata, sometimes they can mean the exact same thing in idioms. Like anapasan hemeran or kath hemeran. They both mean day by day or daily. That's the example in the book anyway. Heos is a subordinating conjunction meaning while or as long as, and usually the action's taking place at the same time as the main thought. Whereas epi is saying that usually that action takes place first. Epi. So heos, while, as long as, usually taking place at the same time as your main verb. These are vocabulary words for chapter 23.